right? And we can thank our friends at Gartner for the five-letter acronym. Um, the complexity involved with cloud, coupled with the volume, variety, and velocity at which you can actually be deploying new solutions, we needed a new category. Traditional firewall or WAF based solutions, point solutions, just wasn't cutting the mustard. And so Gartner coined this new phrase, this new acronym, CNAPP. And I'll give a little insight there and prepare you for what that entails. So at Checkpoint, our customers shared that the cloud is traditional IT times 100. And when we say that, what do we mean? We mean more people, more teams, more assets to manage, the complexity of application dependencies and consuming new AWS exciting new capabilities is really driving the adoption of Agile and Scrum deployment models. And that's going to drive the need to deploy at a cadence that we just never did in the past, right? When we were looking at procuring hardware and having the traditional three-tier stack, things were a lot easier. So at Checkpoint, we aligned with Gartner based on what they defined in CNAPP, their cloud native application platform. We aligned with them to make sure that we're giving a modern solution that really addresses all of the threats that are out there for this new landscape. And why do we need this cloud native security platform? Um, Cloud native application protection platforms have to be unified and they have to be tightly integrated. You want a complete set of security and compliance capabilities designed to secure and protect cloud native born in cloud apps differently than we did for traditional applications within the walls of our data centers. And we also want to make sure that it's built to consume APIs, is really low friction to incorporate into CI/CD, as well as to traditional, more EC2 type environments. Um, the challenge is just going to increase, and the pace and complexity is just going to evolve more and more over time. An effective CNAPP has to consolidate a large number of these previously siloed capabilities, including container scanning, cloud security posture management, infrastructure as code scanning, cloud infrastructure entitlement management, as well as provide runtime cloud workload protection and vulnerability scanning. All right. That is a lot, and probably why they increased the number of letters in the acronym. But it's critically important because if you look at the headlines, even the cloud providers themselves, Amazon and Microsoft, lingering misconfigurations in cloud. All right. These are just headlines just within the last few months of one of the largest issues that we have is cloud misconfigurations, deploying things with known vulnerabilities that are being exploited. So hopefully I'll be able to educate you on how Checkpoint is answering the call. So a lot of the disciplines here historically have been different teams, different organizations. So we made sure that we delivered a platform that consolidates intelligence from flow logs, posture management. We look at AWS EC2 infrastructure, Lambda. We're looking at containers, EC2, S3, EBS. We offer API protection and do it all from left of deployment by integrating throughout the SLDC lifecycle. And we give prescriptive instruction around what needs my attention the most and what steps do I need to follow to actually reduce these risks. Just unifying all of the logs and log aggregating doesn't work in this current context, in this current environment. All right. We have gone through manual configurations, and that results in misconfigurations. And maybe to get things work from an IAM or team perspective, we're giving excessive permissions just to make things work. And All these new services come with new logs, new formats, new skills, new muscles that you actually have to develop to have contextual awareness as to which of these alerts actually are meaningful. Um, we're constantly changing and evolving, sometimes deploying a single app multiple times a day. And we want to make sure that both novel vulnerabilities as well as things that we already know about aren't just being embedded in the various assets that represent your application stack. And complex environments, while the focus today is AWS, the reality is that Gartner says that the preponderance of people consuming cloud today have multi-cloud presence. So we want to ensure, while each native capability of the respective clouds may have fantastic native tools, we want to make sure that we don't need dedicated resources and dedicated training, and we want to make sure that we have a central visibility point that can accurately identify for each of the clouds what our security gaps are. So if you think that SIM is going to cut it for you, it's definitely a good first start, but the aggregation of the logs alone is just going to add to the problem. In order to drive a cloud Formula One car, you need to have an extremely capable and modern engine that correlates and enriches the data, uses AI and constantly evolving ML to identify and prevent security events from occurring, which is what we're doing with our CNAPP solution. With very simple and straightforward licensing, our CloudGuard customers are enjoying the best of breed tools to answer the CNAPP call. They're fed into our patented and AI-driven threat cloud, and that's going to factor in elements like topology. Is it web-facing? Does it exist in a DMZ? Are these internal-only resources? We're going to leverage all of these factors to identify likely attack paths and prioritize where your attention should be driven to really protect your data. And we also allow you to customize the prioritization of threats. Oftentimes, CSPM solutions will give you a CVE score, when the reality is CVE is only a single aspect of how these should be scored. We want the ability to leverage tagging to ensure that assets that we actually identify as being the crown jewels are protected, and protected according to my business priority. So we made sure that we factored that in as well in bringing our CNAPP solution to the market. And the truth is, there's no magic here. We are the first one with a unified cloud security platform, but there's no wizardry. Even one platform can still generate lots of alerts in this ever-expanding environment. So we needed to evolve past what we were doing. So we have introduced the next evolution of CloudGuard that's actually focused on the operationalization of cloud security. So we look at topology, we look at the risk scores, we look at your business prioritization, and we distill sometimes thousands of alerts and help you to prioritize based on their location, based on their visibility, based on your prioritization. We're going to take tens of thousands of security findings and focus only on the 1% that truly matter. And with our smarter prevention capabilities, we're going to enable you to apply the most effective action to prevent or remediate risks. And because it's all on one platform, we can really provide deeper insights and visibility to allow you to understand what is effective permissions and privileges. How do we identify effectively security issues that have given me the biggest bang for the buck? And no other CNAPP solution in the market is really leveraging this approach for log prioritization and effective risk management. So how do we build a risk score? Obviously, we look at the attack surface as the superset. We look at attack paths and assign them a risk score. Our AI engine gives each asset an asset risk and gives it a value by evaluating all of the prospective attack paths. And our remediation guidance uses AI to just really hit the minimal effective dose of action to retire as much risk as possible within your environment. So from code to cloud, we're delivering automated cloud native security unified across all your applications, workloads, and network to manage risk, maintain posture, and prevent threats in context, out cloud speed and scale, and delivering it for AWS, Azure, Google Cloud Platform, Ali Cloud, as well as Oracle Cloud. And really what we're trying to do is enable you to focus on the security issues that really matter to you. All right. The ability to ensure a prevention first approach is maintained because with so many workloads, assets, DevOps teams, you're just going to get so many indications and alert. We want to help you to determine what should be addressed first. We'll prioritize those cloud threats for you. We'll effectively eliminate those alert fatigues up to 99% of the log chatter and just give you actionable insights to remediate. So security teams relying on alerts from multiple security tools. When a new vulnerability is open, maybe it's opened in the development lifecycle, some open source that we're bringing in there. Who addresses that? How does it get surfaced up? How do I prioritize it within my environment? These are the kind of things we're trying to solve with what we built with CloudGuard. Total focus was to reduce TCO, eliminate that alert fatigue, optimize your existing security operations, give you good visualization to see attack surfaces, highlight the attack paths, be able to rapidly identify if something is bypassing a expected route in order to get data. We're leveraging our AI engine to give each asset a risk and infer all of this information so that we can give you actionable remediation provided by AI and ML to give you the minimum effective dose. And with increased complexity comes huge risk of inability to determine what do I even have in the cloud. If I don't have visibility to the asset, then this is going to open up a whole new door for cloud-based attacks. And to support this, you need team capabilities in the cloud, which removes the risk and is one of our primary pillars for cloud security. Visible, secured, managed visibility of effective permissions is going to help you identify over-permissive entitlements. And we're going to give you extremely prescriptive remediation steps based on the usage pattern, based on what it's supposed to see. We'll identify, like in the case of Lambda, what should my security actually be? What is the minimum set for the desired outcome to still work, but to really leverage zero trust and get out of this manually configured permissions being good enough. The lack of knowledge around what's really needed for the application to operate really impedes the zero trust adoption. So again, that's why we built our solution the way that we did. And continuing on the theme of you can't protect what you can't see, we want to make sure that we are honoring all of the steps that are required as defined by Gartner for that SLDC process. So we continue our security insight with agentless-based vulnerability detection for your Lambda EC2 Azure machine deployments. You don't have to go and request installation of agents. It doesn't require any other team adoption. We'll leverage snapshots within the cloud to do deep binary peeks into what you have deployed to actually give you insight into what are the existing CVEs here? What do I have to patch? How do I reduce my surface attack area and really improve the quality of product that I'm putting out there for consumption in the cloud? And we want to make sure that while developers are developing new code and applications, that we are looking at their code, looking for secret leakage, looking for non-hardened CI/CD pipelines. So also within our cloud native protected suite, we have a developer solution that is going to look for code errors, look for secret scanning. It's going to integrate with your developer's native tools to actually eliminate blind spots. We're going to look at, similar to the SBOM capability that's being brought forward by our brothers and sisters at AWS, we're going to peek around that corner and look at those dependencies as well, build out that SBOM, and really give you insight where your developers might be borrowing functionality from public libraries. We'll be able to scan those dependencies and then set a threshold and prevent anything being deployed to making into the wild and available to be exploited before it's ever deployed as a machine. So really, really powerful stuff that effectively shifts security left so that we can really give cradle to grave coverage for everything that we're deploying in cloud. So I hope this gives insight into what the goal set by Gartner was for CNAPP solutions. The understanding of what was needed was to reduce complexity and reduce overall risk. And traditional solutions are failing to address unattended misconfigurations, excessive permissions, secret leakage, issues that are occurring in the code that's actually generating our modern cloud stacks, and just overall lack of visibility into what we have. We can't protect what we can't see. So at CloudGuard, in order to meet that challenge described by Gartner, we are delivering effective risk management. We're giving a team infrastructure entitlement management that's going to look at those IAM roles and permissions, regardless of what cloud you're deploying to. We're going to ensure that we are enforcing frictionlessly good coding practices and look at unhardened CI/CD pipelines and secret leakages and code dependencies that may be extant in open source environments that are being leveraged in your environment, that are being leveraged in your business today. And we want to make sure that we do whatever protection that we can, agentless wherever possible. So this is how we responded to the challenge that Gartner so graciously gave us the 5-letter acronym of CNAPP for. So our AI powers CNAPP that lets you see everything, gives you deep visibility into the cloud cogwheels, to establish and enforce zero trust model and least privilege access for your cloud landscapes, to really help you to remediate issues as quickly as they arise. So I hope that disambiguated the CNAPP acronym and alerted you to what Checkpoint is actually doing to answer the call. So coming up on my 20-minute mark, I just wanted to thank you. My name is Patrick Duggan. I'll include my contact information if you'd like to continue this conversation, discuss how we're protecting serverless, Kubernetes, doing container scans. There's just so much features and functionalities that are encompassed in that CNAPP acronym that it's impossible to cover in 20 minutes. So please let me know if there's anything I can do to help or any questions I can answer.